Yeah.
So I would like to see them perform in their hometown and just see how that, like an Afro punk featuring Summer Walker and Jacquees.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. It'd be weird, but I
like weird, so it works for me. It works for me. What else did I have on my mind? I've just been thinking. What are your struggles when you're creating?
Sometimes I think a struggle of mine is to kind of not emit negative energies.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes, because sometimes when we write, especially for me, I write a lot of experiential stuff. No matter how abstract I make it, it's still experiential. So sometimes I do have possible negative feelings about stuff.
Right.
And I don't want it to necessarily sometimes come out, because even though it's raw, sometimes you have a listener, and even though what you're saying is true, it still might taint it for them.
Gotcha.
So I try to keep that in check, because I can go off and just be like,
dark void.
yeah. It's a real dark place. You know what I'm saying? And my poetry's kind of abstract and different and dark anyway. But I don't want it to go into like the tangent. And that's why I think my biggest struggle is I don't have a problem with writer's block. I can,
right.
But I think that's my biggest struggle, is sometimes going off a negative energy tangent.
I feel like, and I've been thinking about this for a while, like it's easier to write sad, painful poems. And it's harder to write joyful poems.
That's true.
It looks like it's so much easier, and then when I go into joy, it's like, what is joy? How do I break this down where it's real and I'm really feeling it? And I went into like my notes app and I just put like sad or silent or something. And I realized how many of that same word I had, and I was like, we got to pivot. Yeah. We got to get out of this, whatever this space is, because, we're giving more of it. We're breeding more of it.
Now, but can I ask a question, right? Could it be possible that we are maybe sometimes feeding, or not feeding, but like displaying what creative spirits wants to display? So, for example, and sometimes it could, it can get to a point where you end up being wallowing in it, and you have to kind of pull yourself out of that. Yeah. But could it be like, hey, like a spirit's tapping, hey, I need you to like go hard in this, dark stuff, like, what I'm saying? I know you the boy.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, you the boy when it comes to this paranoid stuff. You need to go in. Like sometimes, I wonder if creative spirits talk to us like that.
I feel like they do.
You know what I'm saying? So, but then we have to sometimes pull ourselves out of the same way.
Because it's like you said, sometimes we wallow, and it's finding a balance between like, hey, we're really good at this, but it's also like, why are we good at this? Yeah. Because it's like after you reach a certain level within yourself, how long are you gonna be back here? Right. So I've seen it like on Twitter where a lot of poets are like, man, it's so hard to write a happy poem or like just a love poem or something. It's so much easier to just be sad and depressed all the time. Yeah. It's like we gotta change it up a little bit.
Yeah. And sometimes you can write like R.I.P. XXXTentacion. You can write poems that are sad but not sad. Like he has a song called Sad, but the melody is up. And not high vibrational in terms of happiness, but high vibrational in terms of the beat. It was a very upbeat, but the lyrics were sad. You see what I'm saying? And there's some poems like there's one poem I wrote, right? And the poem was kind of, it was a little angry, but I was happy in seeing it. It was like, yeah, it's a little angry, but I like the way I expressed myself.
I think also it's finding the joy in expressing your truth. Because a lot of times it's like, I'm going to be creative with the way I feel, but I'm also pretending I'm not feeling this thing.
Right.
You know? And so sometimes the most honest poems are the ones that hit the hardest. Mm-hmm. And they could be angry, they could be sad, they could be happy, or they could just be really raw. Mm-hmm. So it's just finding that wave that's like, I'm being truthful, but I'm also being creative with the truth. Yeah.
And that way it's kind of like self-care.
Yeah. Instead of filtering.
Facts.
Because I've had like a lot of poems where like the main word is silent. And so I just checked my notes and I saw that and I was like, oh, you know what this means to me? Yeah. It's time to be louder. Right. You know, so that's interesting though, to have an upbeat sound to these sad words, which I've noticed that's like a thing now with these new
artists,
rappers. So, but I guess it's just that compared to before, the newer generation is available to be more raw.
That's true.
You know, instead of just like, you know, these are the things that happened to me, but it's like, no, but I felt this way too. You know, sometimes I don't get it, but it's not always for me to get. Yeah. So.
And you know, I think too, in that there was a generation where at the time when we would rap, because I wrote raps before I started getting into poetry. I think as I wanted to kind of do better with myself, you know what I'm saying? I started delving more to the poetic flow. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of rappers, the happiness is kind of based on writing about, you know, the party, or writing about, you know what I'm saying, like debauchery. Like, it's hard to write a rap where you're like, you know what I'm saying, I'm in the park sitting watching the trees and the breeze,
and
like,
just having
you know
a
what
good
I'm saying,
time.
like, right, and just having a good time with my kids, and you know what I'm saying, like, I don't have kids, but you know what I'm saying, like,
I get you.
It's hard to write a song like that and it be, you know, like, wow, this is crazy.
It's gonna hit.
It's gonna hit. The way he talked about the park, like, it's gonna be crazy. But you gotta talk about, there gotta be a girl there that's doing something. There gotta be a party. And I think that's there was a generation where that's the only time you could convey happiness. Everything else had to be like struggle or hard or this, that. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what I think to that is that we've been surviving for so long that this is the only way that we could celebrate our survival. And now I think we're in a shift where we're starting to thrive. And so we're figuring out it's not just the party. It's like me with my people on the way to the party. It's that park, meditating at the park or whatever, you know, being with crystals, whatever your weird thing is. Yeah. You know, I think now it's changing where I've seen it. Like, people my age, I'm going to look at, okay, party. Like, Chris Brown is my age. It gets tiresome that you always smashing. Like, that's cool. I ain't mad at you. But, like, I would love a song about your kid. Because that's where you're at right now. You know, it's like you can also be fun and also be a real human being with regular things. Yeah. You know, so it's just, I see the movement. It's not going to be, you know, overnight. Yeah. But just like, I feel like J. Cole kind of did that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
You know,
he's one of the best at individual, like, regular individual stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it because, like, he was just talking about washing clothes. And it's like, everybody does this. Yeah. But you made love come from this one thing. Yeah. That's true. I'm trying to think of if there's anybody else who does that. I mean, you had like Lil B, who used to be like... Lil B? Okay. He had a cult following. Okay. And because I'm an artist, but I also kind of put myself in the business of art, so I study many things. And I think he's one of the only celebrities to have more. He follows more people, I think, than people that follow him. Okay. But he's a celebrity, so he has like at one time instead of just like one.
Right. He has like 1.3 million and then like 1.2 million followers. Like
okay.
Right. So I think he had a lot of like different vibes with him. Mm-hmm. His flow was very it was based. I mean, it was like just not ramble, but it was very random train of thought-ish.
Okay.
But it would be a lot of vibes, and he'll be talking about going to get a cup of coffee, and then he'll rhyme cup of coffee with like cup of coffee.
Okay.
Right, but it was a happy vibe. Or or back in the he'd rap about Vans, or like have a hook about Ellen DeGeneres or Bill Bellamy. And I think that's the way he was able to convey that difference from the typical topics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the bass god, yeah.
So do you have people that have influenced you and influenced you today in your creative process? Even if it's like the vibe that you set up when you're going to create.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have too many influences besides myself and my feelings.
Right.
So like a lot of how I'm feeling influences what I write.
Right.
Now, I've used scripture in writing before.
Okay.
That could be an influence. But I don't have a person where I said like,
this is my like.
You know what? Nothing. Okay, so I can say this. Big Rube.
Okay.
You ever heard of him?
No.
Okay.
I'm learning today.
Okay, all right. So he's a poet. He was on the first few Outkast albums.
Okay.
He was on ATL. He had a poem on ATL.
Okay.
He was like the reason why I even wanted to start writing poetry. Like from 13 years old, I was listening to him, and he was the main reason why I wanted to write poetry. You know what I'm saying? But I don't sound like him.
Got you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna check that later.
Right, but he started me really liking poetry. You get what I'm saying?
It became tangible to you.
Right. So, I mean, if you would want to say he's an influence, fine. But other than that, it's mainly my feelings.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I like Jay-Z. I like Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I like Jacquees. I like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. But I don't think they necessarily influence my style.
Shape your stuff.
Right. And sometimes you sound similar to people, and then when you find out you sound similar to people, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna just throw myself totally way off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way left.
Right. Even though you like their work, but I'm just go total all the way off.
Yeah.
Right, but I feel like, just my feelings, really.
I like the fact that it's your feelings, since we don't get that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially black men, we don't get it a lot.
I think we're not supposed to. Like that's what they supposed. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's like the box that they put black men in. But it's like we're humans. Yeah. We're all humans.
Have you noticed that lately? I think society trying to put black women in that box too.
I feel like because black women are like, nah, they're like, wait, let's make her the superhero. Whatever, and it's like no, we're gonna go to therapy and we're gonna deal with our stuff and we're not gonna deal with other people's stuff, and you're gonna have to sit over here and mind your own business. But I have noticed, and I think what it is, just like I said, it's thriving. So when everybody is pushing out from that box and breaking the box in pieces, the society that has created the box is like, wait, you're not supposed to want to get out of this box. Let's put you in this bigger box right here, so you feel like you doing something.
Instead of a 2-1 box, it's a 3-2 box.
Yeah, so I've seen that. I just want
to clarify what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is that because they see black women's strength, they're now saying, okay, they gotta be hard too. They can't hurt. They can't have anger. They can't have feelings.
Yeah, it's a lot of microaggressions.
Right.
And sometimes it's not even just like white people or white passing people. Sometimes it's your own people. You know, because I've been told that, like, I could get aggressive. But it's because if something's not correct, I'm going to let you know it's not correct. and we can figure it out, but it's not going to stay the same way.
Right. Good.
And so if that makes you uncomfortable,
so be it.
It is what it is,
Yeah.
But it's because I've been silent for so long.
Right.
So it's like, once you remove the silent check mark from you, it's like, oh, we gonna be loud. Mm-hmm. We might not be loud all the time,